Today we are going to talk about how to prepare yourself for disasters, how to prepare yourself for diseases, how to prepare yourself for coronavirus, Covid-19. That's what we are going to talk today about. For bad and weakness, for good and strength, focus, creation, and blessing. Mungu God, African God, the mother of all humankind, loves us all. Mungu God wants us to get ourselves ready for this pandemic, coronavirus, in which most likely each and every one of us will get it. Almost each and every one of us will get this type of disease, coronavirus, or some other time in various forms. So it may come to you in different shape or condition, but eventually most of us will taste it. So Mungu God wants us to prepare ourselves to be ready for when it comes to us. Mungu God wants us to prepare ourselves to be ready for when coronavirus and other diseases comes to us. First of all, Mungu God wants us to use local foods. Mungu God wants us to use local food. Local food is any food that grows naturally in your neighborhood. Local food is a food that grows naturally or easily around you. That's local food. So try to avoid import food, even though import food is also very good food. But import food is good food for the people of where that food comes from. So that's why Mungu God wants us to use local food. Local food, prepare ourselves for immunity, boost our immunity, gets our body ready to fight with whatever type of disease comes to us. So we have to use local food as much as possible. And we use also universal food. Universal food simply such as ginger, lime or lemon, orange, garlic, and onions, or cardamom, sometimes cinnamon, those kind of spices. That is a universal food. So we have to use such as garlic, ginger, onions, or citrus food, cardamom, and curry. We have to use a lot of those stuff. Those are universal food. Those also builds up our immunity. Our body becomes strong. And another thing that Mungu God wants us to boost our immunity by improving the condition of our hearts and lungs. The condition of our hearts and lungs. We have to boost the condition of our hearts and lungs by increasing activities. We have to increase activities. Whatever we're doing, we can create such exercise, whatever type of exercise that's comfortable with you. When you come to a point that you are tired, that's when the exercise starts. You go to a point till you're tired, then you have to do a little more. You do exercise to a point that you are tired, then you have to do a little more. Every day push a little bit more, a little bit more. It will open your heart and your lungs. Will improve the ability of fighting with this coronavirus. So even if you're lying in your bed, you're lying down, just try to lift your upper body. Lying on your back, lift your upper body as many times as you can and as far up as you can. Just keep doing it. When you're tired, relax. Get a breath, come back to it, just do it again. Do it again. You don't have to go anywhere, just do it in your bed. You don't have to go anywhere. Just do it. So by doing this, works with your guts, your muscles, in your stomach, which moves your gut, which improves your digestion system. And then you lift your feet. Just lift, stays like this, and lift your feet up as high as you can in your bed. You don't need to go anywhere. So just lift your feet. Just lift your feet as much as you can. That builds up your immunity. That's what Mungu God wants us to do. And another thing what Mungu God has to do, it says, listen to Mungu God while you're eating. Mungu God says, listen to Mungu God while eating. So what does Mungu God mean by listen to Mungu God while eating? While you are eating, you feel that you are full and satisfied. That's a listen to Mungu God while eating. While you are eating, listen to yourself. You feel that you are full and satisfied. That means you have to stop eating. Eat till you feel you're full. Once you feel you're full, that's the time to stop eating. Save it for later. Give it to your neighbor. Save it to neighbor. Give it to your neighbor or save it for later. Once you feel, just listen to Mungu God. You're eating, you feel full, that's the time of stopping. Mungu God says, while you are eating and you are full, the point that you are full, anything you eat after that is equal to eating the uncooked food. Mungu God says, when you're eating and you feel you're full and you keep eating, anything past that is equal to eating uncooked food. We are just like cars. The best example of is car. If the car is going to run like 100 miles, it's going to need 3 gallons to go 100 miles. 3 gallons of fuel to go 100 miles. So if you put 6 gallons while you're only going 100 miles, you have unused fuel. So with human also the same. Once you're full and you keep eating, you have excess of uncooked food. The food becomes uncooked, unprocessed. Now your body has to deal with it, which is almost impossible. So we have to eat accordingly. Just listen to Mungu God. You feel you're full, you stop eating. Take it to go or save it for later. Give it to your neighbor. Just eat enough. And another thing, do not hold yourself. Say, I'm not eating, I'm trying to lose weight. That's Mungu God also says not to do. Do not starve yourself in order to lose weight. It does not work that way. Just eat enough. Because the moment you stop eating, so that you lose your weight, the time that you eat, your body stores the food. Because your body feels like there's some problems here, starvation here. So the body starting to store the food you eat becomes a problem again. By eliminating yourself, avoiding eating food so that you lose weight, the time you do eat, your body holds the food. So Mungu God does not want us to do that. So another thing is that these diseases will keep coming. We'll never easily get over of these diseases. As he mentioned earlier in What Taught Is in Religion book about trade, global trading. He mentioned about global trading. Unfair global trading in What Taught Is in Religion. This is simply because some official says global warming. But there is no such thing as global warming. There's a global tilting. Mentioned in What Taught Is in Religion book that our Earth planet is shifting. So when it's shifting, for example, we see a lot of melting ice in the polar, North Pole and South Pole. It's simply because the Earth shifted. So that unfortunately ice melts faster than it builds. So ice is building somewhere else, but it takes many years, maybe 1,000 years to build. But to melt, it takes months or weeks or years. So that's why you see rapid melting, but we don't see the ice building. But ice is also building somewhere else. And that's why the diseases also. So we are used to specific climate, but our planet moved to another position of the Earth. So now we are totally different climate than where we used to be. So everything switched around. So that's why we also having this earthquake, tornado, hurricane, we have all of this stuff. Why are we having earthquake? Because the earth is live. When the earth shifted, the earth regulates itself to maintain its sphere or its spinning. So the earth also reshaped itself. That's why we're having this earthquake. In some area, the earth split. Why the earth split? In order to create balance. The earth split to create balance, and maybe the water will move from one place, is gonna fill in the splitting space just to balance itself. So the earth is doing what it's doing because it's live. It's splitting, it's shifting itself, it's moving. We call it earthquake. And the shifting changes the season and weather condition. That's why we are going to have a lot of these disasters here. So we have to take lessons from Mungu God by eating the right way, and conditions our body to be ready for diseases by eating the local food and eating the universal food. This is it for today. For bad and weakness, for good and strength, focus, creation, and blessing. Mungu God, African God, the mother of all humankind, loves us all.